Greetings, fellow brothers and sisters. Hope you all are doing well this Wednesday. This is episode 4 of my uh, Ryan Jarata Project. I'm trying to do this every Wednesday, and for this session, I'll be covering part 3 of a 3-part series. It will be how I got started on keto. So before we get started, I'll cue quickly the intro and we will get started soon. All right. All right. So once again, welcome. If you are watching live, please hashtag live in the comments, or if you're watching this as a replay, hashtag replay. All engagements will help share my story to those who are looking for inspiration or something to get them going. So every comment, engagements, likes, kudos, they all help in reaching out to more people. So if you are watching this from my Facebook channel, please head over to streamyard.com/Facebook to grant permission so I can see who's commenting. Okay, so you'll see a lot of this, all this information on my blog at www.ryanjarata.com. So you'll see all my entries, especially on this 68-day challenge that I am doing that started in October 1st. So check that out. I am on day 41 now, but more likely I will finish this to the end of 2021. So up to December. So probably be 90 days, 90 plus days out of the 68. All right. So without further ado, let us switch over. All right. So in this session, we'll be covering the last part here, which is how I started the keto. So if you guys are interested in watching the first two, I'll share the links in the comments. Let me do that right now. So this one, okay. So this one is how my story, how I got started into prioritizing my health. We'll do a short review on that one. Okay. And episode 3, the last episode, was how I transitioned that stay on top of my health and got into running. All right, let's put that in. And once again, if you are commenting from Facebook, it will, if you head over to, once again, streamyard.com/Facebook, I'll be able to see your comments like this one that I just posted right now. And it'll show your picture and who I'm talking to, so that helps a lot. Uh, Speaking to you live and addressing you personally on the live stream. So, all right. Okay, dokie. All right, so we'll start off. Just a quick, really quick review. We don't want to head this over for 1 hour, but yeah, the majority of this episode 4 will be how I started keto. So it's kind of funny situation there. All right, so once again, we'll go quickly. My story kind of started this journey once my son was born on December 19. I wanted to change my health and improve it for my two sons, my family, and wanted to be there to the very end. Okay, so once again, the turning point was when I was not feeling comfortable in my own skin, 216 pounds, and wasn't sleeping well and feeling a lot of pain. All right, so kind of changed it up when a friend of mine, my captain of the bowling team, reached out in November 2014, sharing what he did for his father, who was diabetic, which my father was also, uh, and uh, and that program has turned it around for me. We call the 21 Day Fix. I lost about 30 plus pounds on that program. All right, and then yes, then once again heading into part two of this session that I started running. Was challenged by my brother to do my very first sun run, which is a 10-kilometer run. Never heard about races for let's see, how old was I? 20, 15, 35 years old. So I was 35, but never heard anything about racing in general. So this was my very first live event. And once again, I was able to meet Tony Horton here. He developed some products like P90X, and I was able to meet him in person in Langley, a few cities away from my place. And yeah, you see all the people here that went to work out with him. All right, so with that race, me and my brother picked up our packages for the first time. I package pickup, head to our very first race where I think 30,000 plus people descended to Georgia and filled the entire street for with uh, with the race. So it's first time experiencing a race, a street closure for a race. So, and then once again finished up. At the finish line here at the BC Place, where everyone came in to celebrate, see the all the participants, and collect some nice goodies. All right, and once again, yeah, it just kind of escalated there. Felt felt in the best shape of my life, as you can see here. Basically, my only reason to improving my health was being there for my family, right? And yeah, first time I started school, first time started hiking, and yeah, first time purchasing or financing my first vehicle to start life together and adventures. So, all right, heading into the next year, going from one race to I believe 9 races. I can't remember, and got introduced to taking that next step into after running 10K, starting to run half marathons, doing a lot more hiking that I did that year, doing my first obstacle course, and basically alternating with my friend here, Sheldon, and her husband on various race half marathon 10Ks and whatnot. So, and this is another thing that I did that year regarding meditation. So, meditation is a very key component, I believe, in helping with that mental exercise in finding calming your mind, finding that peace within, and just flowing that energy. So that was something that I did in 2016. All right, and let's see, and heading into the year after. So after doing 9, I believe one race and 9, I think I did almost 19, 20, around 20 races the next year. So as we saw that in last episode, saw the improvements that Sheldon did by joining a running program geared to a marathon, right? So she improved her time and pace by a lot, so that me and her husband decided to join our very first run club at the running room at Burnaby at Market Crossing. And this is me on my very first day in which was a Tuesday at training for the BMO marathon in Vancouver. So it's pretty funny how I got started here to where I am now. Just made such amazing friends that I can call family and create a lot of memories together. So with that ado, obviously me and Sheldon's husband Sam were very competitive. Too competitive that I ended up hurting my knee at one of the races that we signed up before joining the club. And took me out for almost 2 weeks. So it's something that kind of carried me over for last year, where I got injured last summer uh, of 2020, and yeah, I've been trying to get back into shape, try to get back into my running form once again. So and yeah, once again made the wonderful friends through the running room, through various running communities like Miles to Marathon, and been sharing creating more memories to date with all the friends that I've made in the running walking community. All right, and that's this was basically my first run doing 32 kilometers, so just 10 kilometers shy to a full marathon. All right. So that's that same run, practice run, 32 kilometers with another wonderful friend of mine, Kuya Phil, that we also created other memories like going on a cruise together with our families, right? And then third sun run in a row with my wife, doing her and my cousin, and our one of our friends, sister Vivian. All right, so and here we are, race day. As you can see in the background, this is the length of the race, 42 kilometers, starting from Queensboro, 49th, around UBC, University of British Columbia, down to Spanish Banks, Jericho, and crossing the bridge to downtown, and then around Stanley Park, which is a good 10K, final 10K, and then heading to the finish line. Right. And then yeah, once again, creating more memories that year. Did sign up for my second race, so I was like, well, why stop there? I did all this training for one race, might as well continue to the summer marathon. So that first, my first marathon was January, training up to May, the race day, and this one started, I believe, in June, and then the race was in October, I believe. So, so we started training for with that. Once again, graduated that had graduated that year doing my first marathon, and then sharing more races with my running community. Here's one with Shirley, and tried different experiences. So here my two brothers, Alan and Ron, and then my second family, the Machados. So this is Dave and his daughter Lauren. All right, and then this was my coach for the second marathon, summer marathon in Victoria. So if you guys want to know where Victoria is, you can remember. Well, this is a bad example, but such scenes that you've seen in Deadpool first movie, I believe, is yeah. I was able to take a little downtime before the race and visit that set, that they say castle in Victoria. So it's been a while. So just like I said, 2017, about 4 years ago. So all right. I think it's Dunsmuir Castle. I'm trying to remember, or the family was Dunsmuir. So, all right, so yeah, it just never stopped. We had more races at the summer. Uh, just meeting a lot more friends. It's just quite funny how you go from a life of you know, going to work, coming home, repeat, focus on taking care of the family, raising a family, and then going to just sharing part of your life, part of your story with a lot of people in the running community. And then, well, one of the previous when store managers, Caitlin, when I first got started, right? And then basically, like last week was my birthday week. This week, uh, yeah, just basically sharing a lot of birthday parties with various runners in the community. Excuse me. All right. All right. So yeah, we went from there. I think we started doing a lot more running once again. So this is kind of where we'll start off here. 16 minutes in. I'll try to put the notes there on the comments if you're watching from YouTube. So where you get started. So all right. So kind of finished off the next year, another sets of runs, and doing my third marathon. So back to 1 year. So January back into training again for my third marathon for same race. I was hoping to improve, but yeah. Um, it did all things, it didn't go that way, so kind of like trained but wasn't taking it too serious, and it was quite a struggle for that race. So this is the same year in Vancouver where the Sedines retired. So it was end of an era, and yeah, we got a new era now of youth, and it's gonna have its ups and downs. So hopefully, right now 2021, that they can find uh, a harmony together and put some wins. All right, and once again, this is the first time me and my family went on the cruise ship, thanks to Kuya Phil, who suggested offer and travel offer, and I went with him, his wife, and another running couple, CK and Fan, and we went to, I think, 5 days from Vancouver to Victoria, I believe, and then straight down to San Francisco, and then uh, heading back home, I believe. So, all right, so we did that, and then this is probably where I'll probably need to make a new slide once for the winter challenge, winter 68-day challenge, which will start in January to January, March. So Q1 of or first quarter of 2022. So here we go. Let's say this is where I got into keto. So it's quite funny that there are good things and pros and cons in. I always bring up even to this day. There's pros and cons in running in a community, running in a club, and it's not the club itself, but it depends on the situation that you put yourself in. And after every run, I was more of like a social runner, so after every run, there's always a reward. So I ended up running, doing all my runs, doing my 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, and then just waiting at the store for my comrades, and celebrating after just completing a long training run. And we always ended up either at Tim Hortons or Starbucks, or basically if you know, especially on the long run, and we had plans, then we ended up eating at a restaurant like White Spots or various places that we got ourselves in trouble with, like something like Uncle Willie's. So it's quite a funny story that almost the first two BMO races, full races that I did back in 2017 and 2018. Before the race, we kind of went to Uncle Willie's for all you can eat. Talk about kind of sabotaging yourself for before the race. So very a tip not recommended, but we'll just say that I was powered by fried chicken on some of those segments on those full marathons. So it's quite funny. But yeah, I mean, how I got it started with the keto was quite a funny situation where I think it was in the summer of 2018. I guess, let's just say I got into those YouTube challenges, and I ended up doing a challenge in the summer called the Spicy Noodles Challenge. So it's kind of funny how we went from spicy noodle challenge to keto. But well, let's just say we thank. I always been someone who kind of want to put some challenges to myself and try crazy things. After I think 35 years, 34 years of just focusing on myself and just going about the routines of going to work and coming home and raising a family. So sharing this past 4 years, it's probably uh, 4 to 6 years, with new friends, new family friends that I created through the running community. So yeah, with that challenge, I got my buddy Dave and his daughter. Let's see if I can go back, if it'll let me go back. So Dave and his daughter sat down with the spicy noodle challenge with me, and I gotta look for that video so that I know it's on Instagram. It was posted on the Instagram, so I gotta get a recording of that and then show you. But it was funny. We were dying that day, dying internally, and basically cooking from the inside. That Yeah, it was a very painful experience from the get go. Try to finish it without drinking milk or washing it down, and yeah, we basically shared maybe two or three packages of the spicy noodle with three of us, and it was definitely painful, and don't want to gross you guys out. It was painful a second time, so we'll just leave it at that. And because of the challenge, is like obviously I did realize and didn't know that Dave and his wife Helena were trying to lose weight using keto, and this was my first introduction to keto, and that I had no idea what it was all about. So I started researching more about it, and because we did this spicy noodle challenge, we ended up starting a new, I believe, 30-day or 3 weeks challenge, since I was always already doing uh, the 21 day fixed way back in 2014, 2015, and various times, especially last year, doing a 21-day challenge with various uh, friends on the running committee while we were all in uh, COVID lockdown. And yeah, so we were doing that last summer, last fall. And so yeah, so with that said, we tried our very best to basically limit and remove carbohydrates, sugars and grains in our eating. And it was really tough. It was really tough, I must say. Especially there's this one event, the food truck that happens here in my city once a year in the summer, which I wasn't able. We didn't have one, or we had a limited one this year, but yeah, it was kind of a drive-by food truck, and yeah, definitely something that I didn't attend. Me and my family didn't attend. We just did our part and tried to just travel for the essentials for our work, and then groceries and whatnot. So didn't do a lot of traveling this year and last year at all. So kind of stayed here in our locale. So yeah, we did this food truck back in 2018, and obviously you want to try all the different foods. We didn't try a single bite of any of the food there. So we were just there for just walking while we let our kids and wives do the carbohydrate eating for us, because everything we looked at the food truck, I think there was probably around 100 food trucks down here in U.S. Minister, and everything either contained sugars and carbs. So me and Dave were pretty strong as we try to do our strong bad boy pose here. And yeah, basically now this is another one that we ended. David introduced me to his hair, his barber, and I've been going there ever since. And actually, next week, our barber is actually he's a movie director as well. So for short films, independent indie films, and he's doing a film festival next week. If you're all interested in checking it out, um, just hashtag me in the comments, and I'll get that information out for you. But yeah, it's starting next week, I believe, on or this weekend on the 13th. I'm gonna check my email, but it's I think. He's showing various films from various creators, directors, and you are welcome to watch that. All proceeds, it's all online, I believe. All proceeds will go to a charity of his choice. I think it's the Children's Hospital, but I could be wrong. I'll check that. I'm gonna check that email. But yeah, once again, hashtag me if you're interested in watching some short films that you'll not see in theaters. And yep, I'll get the information for you. All right, so carrying on, we're 30 minutes in. All right, so let's say that challenge that me, Dave, and his wife did. We can say who won that challenge. So I felt great that year. I guess I kind of almost got as low as to my goal, which was 150, and I'm trying to hit that goal again. So the closest I got to hitting 150, which is my current goal now, is I got down to 152, and then last summer I got down probably around 157, until I got injured on one of my runs, and then started putting the weight back on. And now I'm hopefully, I'm putting that injury behind me, which was in June of 2019, no, 2020, and then yeah, in 2020, and yeah, I'm slowly recovering and not having any symptoms uh, in my calves where I got my injury. So yeah, anyways, uh, I finished and completed the challenge, won the championship belt, which is a WWE belt that they managed to purchase. So he is trying to earn that back. But yeah, like I said, I was all about challenges, so I ended up or been called out on a challenge uh, that I set up from my buddy here, Keith, who reminded me, hey, remember that time at Starbucks? You said you were gonna do four half marathons in 4 weekends. So here in Vancouver, uh, there was a session where, especially to start off the new year, with the very first marathon, there was kind of like a marathon in week after week after week. So obviously, at our running group, there we were training for one of two races. So there was, but then I did those two races thanks to Shirley. She was we were training for one race, and then she uh, she got to me to say, well, we have 1 week to recover. All our friends are doing the other races. Let's join them. So I ended up doing back to back half marathons. I think it was in January, February, and then obviously I saw that uh, there were two other races, one for the tri events, and then I believe there's another one I'm trying to recall. Well, actually, I think two for the tri event. So one called the Chili Chase, and then the final one was the Fort Langley Historic Half. So it's four half marathons in 4 weekends. So it would have been the Chili Chase, the first one. Then the second one would be the first half, which is not the first half because obviously another race ended up being the very first one, which is the Chili Chase. And then the other one, I believe, was I'm trying to the hypothermic half, and then the final one was once again the Fort Langley historic half. So basically, doing four halves in 4 weekends or four half marathons in I believe it was 23 days. I'm trying to recall that. So yeah, it was pretty intense. So there's some races that I only had 7 days to recover, and then there were some races that was only 5 days to recover and get my legs back underneath me. So yeah, I was called out by my good friend, my brother Keith here, who reminded me that I set that goal up for myself back in 2018, and he remembered and called me out on it. And people thought I was crazy back at the end of December of I believe 2018, and then obviously we had three other people who were crazy with me, Agnes, Michelle, and Ryan Tom. Uh, the five of us, but actually, five of us did three, uh, the first three, and then the final one, which was in Langley. Me and Agnes did the race together, and Agnes is my hero. My very introduction to Agnes was back in 2017 on my very second run of the BMO marathon training program. So my first run was Tuesday, and then the group run where everyone can join was Wednesday, Sunday. So I met Agnes on a Wednesday, and at that time, like in January, it was really dark. Right at 6 o'clock, that I think 6:30 that we all meet up at the store. It was kind of like a run from the store all the way down to North Fraser Way, then all the way down to Boundary and back. So I saw this lady that was in front of me. I was trying to, obviously, my competitive edge, I was trying to just at least keep up with her. And then on the turnaround, I was going to try my very best to overtake her and pass her, but she just kept on getting farther ahead of me, and I was dying. As soon as we got to the store, she kind of like, and I think she had a good 200 meters gap on me, 2 to 300 meters gap on me, and she like turned around. It's like I could I could hear you're running behind me, and then she was trying her best to not get overtaken by me. And yeah, we just that was our introduced. We start chatting on our way to the store, and then it's like I told her it was my first time doing a marathon, and she said, yeah, she'd done a few marathon. Right now, she was taking a break and focusing on trail running right now, and that's a next level of difficulty, traversing through rough terrain, through mountains, or depending on where the run is located, ele- ele- extreme elevations. But yeah, it was the next level. And then I guess before we entering the the store, she was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm 70 years old." So I was just like extra extra punch in the guts. Like, damn, I got smoked. But I mean, she became a wonderful friend, and every time I see her, because our runs, sometimes our runs are, and my place is located close to the store, so a lot of the training routes were uh, gone past my place in various areas. So we always greet each other, and especially training for, I believe this now is my fourth marathon. So yeah, that sounds about right. 2017 to 18, 19. So this was my fourth marathon. Once again, I think this was, yeah, no, this is where I did well. So it was last year. It was last year, 2018, where I was almost like 200 meters from the finish line. I was dying. I was in the worst shape of my one of the worst shapes in my life. That's why I had to do this challenge to just just have some sort of progression year after year, instead of like having doing my run, putting all that training down the drain, and then resetting back to the very beginning. So I made it a commitment to run straight through, and this is basically the my last marathon where I finally broke the 4 hour barrier, and I think I ran at 3:57, so I barely made it. But last year, when I was at the worst run possible, I was about to. I said to myself, I'm not going over 5 hours. I believe. I think that was it. So luckily, with 200 meters left, back in 2018, the same the BMO Vancouver Marathon, that Agnes tapped me on the shoulder. Uh, yeah, that would have been now. She'd been 21, 22 now. She tapped me on the shoulder, and she said, "Let's go, my friend." And from that moment, I think I just got at 4:59 with like maybe 10, 15 seconds to spare. She just helped me get under that commitment I said was that I'm not going over 5 hours. So she helped me get over 5 hours. So I thank her a lot for that. And yeah, just various things when I'm the challenge. I kept track of my weight and my measurements. And another bucket list, I wanted to have season tickets to the Vancouver Canucks. So I did two of that, 2019 and 2020, until the a lot of sports leagues decided to shut down the season or postpone the season. And yeah, I did 2 years of I didn't renew my season ticket this year because just wasn't really comfortable at doing that with the with COVID right now. So yeah, I mean, that 2019 was stacked with a lot of things, with a lot of challenges. So just I decided to carry on from the BMO marathon. This was this four races. So I was gonna I called Quadzilla. So four marathon. I managed to do that last year again before COVID, real the pandemic really took over, and everyone was races were canceling, getting canceled left and right, center, and a lot of events were being canceled. So yeah, I mean, I did, like I said, once again wanted to commit myself to training and improving myself. So I joined. I started running in the summer with another running club, Miles to Marathon, M2M, with two other runners that ran with our group, but then also decided to change the transitions, which is Mark Nelson here and Luke Lee here. So Luke Lee was one of the first people I trained on the very first marathon, and he just kept on improving. Once again, just to show that age is just a number, but if you're committed to what you want to do, focus on that one uh, sole target and drive, you can do anything. And these guys are fast, really fast. And Mark here, I mean, I am complaining about being 216 and uncomfortable in my own skin. Mark was basically more than 300 pounds, and he almost lost a second, offloaded a second version, a second person. So if I'm saying trying to lose from 216 so to almost 150 pounds, almost 60 pounds, Mark basically lost two people, almost 150 pounds. So I usually share his stories when I do my Learn to Run programs, telling people that it's possible to run as long as you are committed to doing so and wanted to create that difference in yourself. So any shape you are, if you are committed year after year towards that healthy goal, then anything's possible. And Mark proved it, and a lot of people proved it to me. Like Agnes, she didn't. People being 70, people give me the excuse that oh she got started. She had a head start. In fact, she only started running when she was 60. So sure, she got head start, a 10-year head start, but 10-year head start at 60, not when she was in her 20s. So she is very active. You'll be surprised. Like I think I think just last year, 1 week, it was she was training. She does. ride session. So she was spin class on Thursday. She went for an ice climb on on Friday. Then she joined up, and I think I was still doing the walk clubs. Every Saturday, she came there to unwind the legs, and then the Friday, I think we had a race. So imagine what you can do in when you get into your 60s and 70s. So you can choose to live healthy and do what you want, or you can choose to struggle if you don't stay on top of your health. So, all right. So yeah, I just that's why basically uh, these wonderful people that I met in the running community just prove that we are basically our obstacles in what we want to achieve in life. All right, so here we go. This is last year. Last year. So I think this is the final slide. I decided last year, the beginning of last year, that in order for me to take the next step and not go year after year, reset, doing the same thing, I decided to put my hands in a coach. I did set up to find, I think, four coaches last year towards various things that I wanted to achieve in my life and improve one. The first one was in running, and I met this wonderful human being, Coach Justin Kent, once again from Miles to Marathon, here at the Vancouver Empire Stadium that we train. There's two Miles to Marathon groups, one in Vancouver West. So closely, sometimes they do their races at Jellicoe or Stanley Park, usually uh, Wednesday to Saturday. Saturday being the group, and then yeah, but there's two groups on Wednesday. So actually, they're at 7:48 now. So I think they're finishing up their run. So Justin also he won that very first race that I was doing, the Vancouver Sun Run. He won the race last in 2019. So I for me to have credentials right there, if I want to improve my speed, he definitely has the accolades to prove to get. And I'm really thankful for him over the last year to now that especially with the injuries, he made those customizations for me and various things, events that have occurred. So I'm very thankful for him to be very patient with me and adjusting my running training accordingly to the situation. So thank you, coach, and I'm hoping to do you proud this next marathon. So unfortunately, I was supposed to run the Vancouver the first half next year in February, but in person. That's my very first run in person. But it looks like the event just sold out yesterday. So I waited too long, and that's fine. I think I'll probably do that virtually, but I will have to sign up. That helps me with another expense. So definitely, yeah, I'll definitely have to sign up for the BMO Marathon, and we'll see. We'll go from there, which is in May. So that was one of the coaches that I wanted. One was online, and as you can see, I started tracking my online. I have an online e-commerce business on eBay, and then I'm switching and training. Hopefully, I'm gonna get another coach on another platform called Groove. So you're more than welcome to try that out. It's a free account to get you started, and once you start making income through that, if you guys are interested in how I run mine, then you can scale up and promote to unlock more features. But technically, you can make money without any investments at all. So, but yeah, just head over to omgroove.com. Let me type that in the comments and get your own uh, free account. I'm using that to. So it's basically not just getting one e-commerce. You're getting actually 17 different apps under one platform, right? So instead of having 17 different passwords, 17 different what you call it, subscription, just one subscription, one password. Especially just make sure you make it hard to crack 30 different character length password, right? And yeah, you can get started. And unfortunately, I had this year and last year, 2 years, I upgraded because it just made sense in my business. Because if my business scales, I don't need, like, why should my expenses to improve my business online scale? So I bought the lifetime membership, which is ending this December. So it's a one time. So now I don't have to pay for, because it's still in beta. They want people's feedbacks to improve the program. It's going live next year, and from a one time payment, it's gonna be free. It's gonna be a monthly now. So from free for limited access to the 17 different accounts, except for two are basically free. And then let's say, and then I think 99 and 190 299 uh, plans. So anyways, yeah, if you want to know more, just hashtag me, or you can head over to, once again, the here, sorry, Groove with Ryan, and you can get yourself an account to get started. So it's, like I said, free to start. Have a play with it, and if you feel like you want to get on board with this without with a one-time payment, and then yeah, then you don't have to pay subscription. Like I said, if this is something you want to do, online space, like I said, it helped me through COVID, helping me an extra 1,000 to 1,500 while I was laid off. It, it went a long way to keeping me afloat. So yeah, I mean, last year was quite. No one expected it. I was able to get my second Quadzilla, so you can see here 4 different races in 4 weekends, or in 23 days. That was my last one. Not everyone, probably only two people did the two races with me. Unfortunately, the Chili Chase one was the same day where we found out news that Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and a few other people crashed in a helicopter accident. So that was where I was getting the news, and I was just in shock. And at that moment, hearing that news, all right. So, and then the other two races, the first half, which I'm probably going to be doing virtual this next year, and then the hypothermic half, uh, were the two races I got started. Then I added this first one, and then the fourth one last year, and then 2 years ago, and then last year, right? And then obviously, once again, all the sporting leagues decided to, and races started to cancel, postpone, and yeah, we all experienced the pandemic together, all the changes and all the protocols to keep everyone safe. And yeah, that was basically all that happened. I got, I mean, I got started in keto was short, but even today, I have been limiting my exposure to sugars and carbs. It was very tough to get go. I mean, and especially introduction to some sort of carbs in my needs. I experienced a thing called keto flu. For me, that hit me like with a headache, not stomach cramps or anything. It's just I just had brain fog, and that was my thing. So I do have some carbs, but yeah, it has helped me a lot that year, 2019, I believe. Yeah, 2019, 2018. The where we finally, I believe, we got started was 2018. Let's get back. Yeah, so 2018 is when I first got started. Summer of 2018. It helped me improve a lot, and I felt great in running. I kind of like I didn't even eat breakfast. Especially when you focus on the quality of your food, you know, at times I had to have breakfast, some sort of fuel before my morning training, and usually I didn't. I just had to make sure I had my electrolyte drinks, and that was enough to sustain me on those 5, 20, 30 kilometer runs. I'll probably just pack a keto bomb just to be sure if the stomach does decide that I need some more. But yeah, it made me a better runner for sure. Especially the most important part that was a huge change in myself when it came to running was how I felt after the run, right? So I, but 27, 26, 15, 2016, 2017, my legs would be done. They would be toast, and it took me a full week or so, 3 to a full week, just to get the inflammation, get the lactate acid burns that I were having in my body down, so I can run again. This one I running keto, running at low carbs. I was ready to go once again for another either 5K. I didn't experience any pains in my body. I wasn't even hungry after those crazy sessions after my runs. So I mean, those were my personal benefits when it came to running keto, running low carb, running. But like I said, it all depends. The most important goal and the most important thing to keep in mind when finding a health program, a healthy eating program for yourself, uh, the most important thing that you guys can do is find a program that will help you stay on it. So mine was through keto and through low carb. Some people went with uh, all meat diet. Some people went on vegetable vegan diet. Right? Hey, you know what? If it's the program that keeps you on it for a long time, right? And that you are really happy and want to follow through on it, that is the most important program for you. Not one program like what I was doing. It doesn't work. It's not a quick cookie cutter for everyone. Everybody's body and genes are different, are built through previous generations before you. That you know, there's one certain types of foods that you resonate with and respond better with. So the most important is to don't give up, stay positive, and find just have that hunger to find that program that makes sense. And it doesn't have to be a specific program. It could be a combination of all the stuff that you accumulated over time and making into one. Like for me, like the 21-day fix is a challenge, and the portion size is part of that program, which we do now. So it's not it's a nice template, foundation one, but your personal program is a combination of many other things that you were able to put together and experience, taking all the positives from those programs, minus the negatives, and putting it together to a program that makes sense for you. So that's the most important thing in finding that program. And once again, just continue to hunger for that, because you are improving yourself, and you are one step closer to finding that version of you that you'll be happy and proud with even more, uh, and be able, even though it's not part of your goals, but people will reach out to you, uh, uh, trying to find that in themselves. And all you can do is share your experience and what has worked for you, and then help them on their journey and help them find their own personal journey. If even if it does, you know, if they can't even go 100% on that, help them find mix and match that will help them on their journey. So that will keep them engaged in that. So yeah, that is basically my journey through keto and how it has helped me uh, change my game, change my running, and basically what I was able to achieve and do more with. Right, so I'm trying to remember what were the four coaches that I wanted to do, but I know one was for my physical health, one was for my online space, but uh, I'm I found one, but then yeah, I mean, being unemployed wasn't sustainable, so I had to drop the program. But I'm looking for one as I narrow down my primary focus, which is, I think, creating, helping people create their online e-commerce store. So that's something, especially through the platform I'm using, that will help me reduce my expenses of transactions and whatnot. So that is what I'm planning to use. So yeah, that will be pretty much my calling through that. And so I'll be looking for a coach for that. There was supposed to be one coach for one of goal setting, and then I'm trying to remember what the other one was. So, but anyways, yeah, those were the different things. So, once again, you can watch the first video. Episode 2 is how I got started to improving my health. Last week's episode, how I started running. Episode 3, and then I'm just like this episode is how I started on keto. And yeah, just feel free once again to share with people. So once again, we're wrapping this up now. Once again, it went over 1 hour. I just can chat about anything. But yeah, if you're watching this live, hashtag live. If you're watching, obviously now the replay, hashtag replay. And since this will be closing up, so don't need to head over to StreamYard. But once again, thank you so much for watching my progress and through my first 68-day challenge. Right now, it's just a beta test, so it's not the complete program that I'm hoping to put assemble together. So just trying, just most important thing is just to build, get momentum, build consistency, build a habit, and then get myself on my way towards really uh, locking down on what will uh, the items that will serve me and help me take that next level, right? So if you like this video, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications to get the updates. Usually I'm going to be doing this at best every Wednesday at 7 p.m. So catch me next Wednesday. Not sure what the topic would be at the time, but as you can see, I can pretty much talk about anything. But yeah, and if you're watching on Facebook, please like and share. Every engagement go a long way to finding those who want to take that next step. My primary goal, especially I'm not focused on becoming a physical instructor, a fitness instructor, or someone into the nutrition. My my primary focus is goal setting and helping you identify uh, the one goal that you want to focus on right now, breaking it down, reverse engineering it from who you want to be in the future, and creating small segments and down to a daily action that you can do and scale up once you start locking down. So creating those small wins towards your goals. So it's nice and easy to have the big goals and then not fill out the gaps in between to reach it. But it's every goal is attainable as long as you're willing to think it through, break it down, put some dates, and just focus on that as you scale. And then once again, once you've these goals that you create are your current version and your current version improves over time, those first goals that you set might improve, might be smaller than you think it was because you were able to create these small wins towards bigger and bigger wins. So but yeah, that's my primary focus, is to basically um, get you on those onto those bigger goals through goal setting, planning, and just taking charge of your schedule. All right. So here's other place. Like I said, you can find me either. I'll probably have to change that now. I think I'm going to be switching over to the Coach Ryan Jarata as my uh, with this the Ryan Jarata Project, right? And you can also find me on Instagram and Twitter and Strava, which I'm doing most of my postings on those Instagram and Strava, and you can follow all my posts on my personal blog, which I'm using, which is one of the 17 apps, and I've been posting all my content there. So let me do that quickly so you can see what it looks like. Okay, and it looks like something like that, right? So these are the this is my main site. So once again, you can head over there and just type it down quickly because for some reason Facebook puts another layer of links heading out of their platform. So I think all of you understand and know that they want people to stay on their platform. So obviously uh, they and it's also uh, for your protection also. So because sometimes we don't know where these links head to, right? So but yeah, that's my personal blog. I'm hoping to put a landing page before this But for now, just to get started, imperfect action, right? Not waiting for the perfect plan before you take action. Most important is just get started and just improve it and learn over time. So definitely, like I said, this it's not what it used to look like. It's trying to improve a lot. And yeah, so like this month is November, so feel free to donate to the cause. I'm kind of like growing my facial beard. If you can see, this is 10 days, 10 days worth of it, and yeah, I can't really grow. This is probably someone can grow this in a day. This is what 10 days look like for me. So, but yeah, so tomorrow is Remembrance Day, and also tomorrow is my dad's birthday. He would have been, I think, 73, 74 this this year. Sadly, we lost him in 2010. That's 4 months right after my very first son was born. So um, he had diabetes. He had uh, various ailments lead caused through diabetes, like strokes, cataracts. Was unable to walk. Was bedridden for probably the last 7 to 10 years of his life. Confined to the house, confined to a bed that we had to move into the living room because it was just too much for him to make these movements. But he was able to feel my eldest son, who was 4 months. So it was like I said, it was the best of times being parents for the first time. But it was also a sad moment that we lost our very first best friend in our dad's because my dad passed away in June 2nd, which is my birth date, and my wife lost her dad the following month. So it was the best of times. It was one of the hardest times in our lives in 2010. That was a year of the Olympics in Vancouver, but we were in the hospital having our son, getting him through his personal struggles with allergies and jaundice, cradle cap, and we spent the entire winter games at the hospital. But we won't trade it for anything because we became parents for the first time and starting another chapter of our lives. So yeah, so celebrating tomorrow, celebrating my dad's birthday, and we'll just be paying him a visit at Ocean View Cemetery, and probably leaving some flowers. But yeah, uh, it would have been nice to have him share his experience in parenting and showing me how difficult I was as a child. That now I get to experience those difficulties through my kids and stuff that helped him overcome that could have helped overcoming. But you know what? Things happen for a reason. Uh, we think positively that he doesn't have to suffer anymore, especially those first 2 decades, and that hopefully I can stay on top of my health with this first challenge and leading into the rest of my life into a lifestyle that I can avoid, do my very best to avoid that situation for myself, right? So this is kind of like the same time around where things kind of started changing for my dad. So that's what is helping me motivate me to make that change and be there for my kids. Graduations and they take the next step in their lives. So unfortunately, my dad was already gone before he met before my second child was born. But that's just uh, we just have to deal with these things in life and move forward. Think of the memories and create new ones with those that we love and care about in our lives. So, all right. So, thank you once again for watching. Hope you all are doing well, staying healthy, staying active, and most definitely setting those big goals and achieving them throughout your life. So, you know, feel free to follow me on my journey, see how I set up goals. Like I said, um, I'm not limiting myself through my current situation. I'll put on those big goals that I want to achieve, and we'll fill in the gaps. And you're more than welcome to follow me on my journey through my blog and through my Wednesday videos for now. And hope it help inspire you to achieve your goals. So once again, thank you so much, and I'll see you through my blog. I'll see you through my videos, and hopefully we'll see each other's growth in the future. All right, thank you, and have a wonderful day, evening.